coming to this groundbreaking ceremony for Stirlingside Residences. I'm Mike Cassidy, project manager for the Community Builders. I'm going to start by introducing our New York, New Jersey Regional Vice President, Mr. Jesse Betas for the Community Builders. Please come up, Jesse. Thank you.
Thanks for the introduction. So first, couldn't be more excited to be here today. We have a lot of folks that are going to be speaking. I'm going to try to keep my comments brief. But first and foremost, I just want to thank the folks that helped us get here today. All of our neighborhood partners, our stakeholders, and most importantly, our residents, to help continue to address the critical need of affordable housing in New Brunswick. For over 60 years, Community Builders has advanced social justice and housing equity across 14 states and Washington, D.C. Our nonprofit mission is to build and sustain strong communities where all people can thrive. Our work here in New Brunswick has been an amazing success story, and what our pursuit of that mission, really encapsulation of what our mission is, when like-minded people and organizations get together for a common good. Our work in New Brunswick dates back 30 years, when DCB worked with partners in government and New Brunswick Housing Redevelopment Authority to advance housing equity as a developer through the Hope 6 program. I'm also being advantaged by a siren, so I'm going to speak louder. Since then, TCB has developed 191 homes across 3 phases in downtown New Brunswick, including Hope Manor, Lord Sterling, and Riverside Apartments. Today, we redouble and strengthen our commitment to the city with 53 new affordable homes for individual families here in New Brunswick. I want to take this opportunity to thank the TCB real estate development team that worked so hard to get us here today. The team worked for years to bring this complex project together. It took a lot of work, a lot of collaboration with our partners in government. It's always a dangerous game to mention people specifically, but Mike Cassidy, our senior project manager, is incredible. Sandra Chung, our project associate, did a tremendous amount of work. Jenny Kiesler on the finance side in particular. Their leadership really, some specific mention, incredible work. I also want to acknowledge our CEO, Bart Mitchell, and our Executive Vice President, Patricia Belden. Both were stuck on a tarmac this morning in Boston trying to get here, but send their regards. I also just finally want to mention how grateful we are for our partners and our funders that made this project and this day possible. Specifically, again, the City of New Brunswick, incredible partner, incredibly welcoming to TCB and what we do. New Brunswick Housing Redevelopment Authority, incredible partner again, sticks with us through all these years, and it's just been a great partnership. If we had relationships like this across the country, this would be a much different place. Middlesex County provided very critical financing for this project to make it go forward. Without them, we'd still be trying to figure out a gap. And then our partners in finance on this, Raymond James Affordable Housing Investments, Santander Bank, CPC Mortgage Company, and of course, New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency. And JHMFA in particular, really just a great agency to work with, understands the issues, tries to make it easy for us. An incredible partnership. And so together, we're looking forward to building opportunity for all our residents and continuing to make this a better place to live. And so with that, it's my great pleasure to introduce Mayor of New Brunswick, Mayor Jim Cahill.
Hey everybody, what an exciting day. I'm really pleased to be able to join with Councilwoman Petra Gaskins and all of you today as we mark yet another milestone in New Brunswick's ongoing development. Stirlingside Residences reflects our shared commitment to sustainable urban development. It represents our dedication to ensuring safe and affordable housing is accessible to all income levels, even those without a home or any income at all. The set-aside of 6 of the 53 units for homeless individuals and families helps us here in New Brunswick address an immediate need for housing and cultivate a more inclusive and vibrant community. So I want to acknowledge TCB for its proven track record of success in New Brunswick. Since being appointed by the city's housing authority as the redeveloper for New Brunswick's Hope 6 revitalization plan in 1998, TCB has developed Hope Manor, Riverside Apartments, and transformed this beautiful building right to my right, your left, unless you turn around anybody. That's the former Lord Sterling School into 47 units of senior housing. It is TCB's commitment and forward-thinking approach to community redevelopment that paves the way for projects like Stirlingside Residences to move forward and to thrive. You know, the financing, the construction of and operation of projects like these is difficult, to say the least. They simply do not happen without the help and support of other like-minded individuals and agencies. So in addition to the community builders, as with so many of our redevelopment projects, I'd like to thank NJHMFA, Middlesex County, and our city's own Housing Authority for their commitment and perseverance in seeing this project through. Today is another step in our never-ending pursuit for a more equitable, prosperous New Brunswick, building a brighter future, one home at a time. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Mayor. It truly is a great partnership opportunity with the city and the Housing Authority. Before introducing our next speaker, I'd just like to acknowledge a few folks here. Councilwoman Petra Gaskins, thank you for joining us. Housing and Redevelopment Authority Chair Zach Michael Wright. Let's see who else we have here. We have Housing Authority Commissioner Jasenia Medina Hernandez. Thank you for joining us. I'd also like to thank our community partners and friends coming home of Middlesex County. I believe I saw Francis here. Triple C Housing, hello Leslie. New Brunswick Tomorrow, hi Diana. Unity Square, hello Angel. The Housing and Community Development Network of New Jersey, Supportive Housing Association of New Jersey Community Capital Reinvestment Fund, and of course HMFA. I'd now like to ask Chair Zach Michael Wright of the Housing Authority to come up to say a few words. Thank you.
I'm going to keep it incredibly brief because I am solar powered, and today it's just not giving for all the young folks out there, as my nephew says. Listen, the mayor touched on all the main points. The partnership with TCB has been fantastic. There are a lot of people who are here today that have put in a lot of work to make this happen. And housing, especially affordable housing, is instrumental. I'm a product of the city. I'm a product of our affordable housing. And it creates the type of opportunities for families to drop roots and then build into a place where they can actually influence. I wish that these were sentimental tears for impact, but I'm cold. I just want to reacclimate you with that statement. So I'm not going to speak long on it. There's a lot of fantastic development that's been happening under Mayor Cahill's leadership, and this just gives us a foothold inside of it in order to experience the growth of New Brunswick. We've been on an uptrend for a generation now. I am wildly proud of this city. I am wildly proud to be able to contribute as the Chair of Housing and Redevelopment and to have these sorts of relationships and partnerships with you guys out there, okay? Fantastic.
Thank you, Zach, and again, thank you to the Housing and Redevelopment Authority of New Brunswick. Now, I'd like to introduce Executive Director Melanie Walter from New Jersey Housing Mortgage Finance Agency. This project is financed with tax credit dollars as well as some gap financing that was heavily needed to make this come to fruition. So with that, Melanie.
Joining in me being brief because I'm cold. When we talk about this project, one word kept coming to mind for staff, and that was persistence. This was a project that had been approved back in 2020, well before all of the construction cost increases and permitting delays that everyone's experienced all over our state and all over our country. It was housing that was needed then, it is needed now. So the agency worked very hard with the team to address every hurdle that came up. And you can see that in what's kind of a strange financial statement for the project for our purposes. Usually there's a couple of closings. Sometimes projects like this one might have 5 or 6 closings because we keep having to add layers and change out subsidy sources to make something work. But in the end, basically it's a $26 million building. The project received $1.5 million in gap subsidy at one point, another $2 million at another point, then a bunch of money in tax credit equity. And everyone just kept their eyes on the ball, right? We kept looking at the site, looking at the need. We hear over and over again at the state side when developers come in to local finance board that the studies were saying, you know, there are no kids. There's no kids. We only need studios in 1 bedroom. So when we see a family project come in, 53 units for families, we know there are children in every town. And it's wonderful to see that there are places being built for those children to live and to thrive and to grow. So this is an exciting one for us because it focuses on families and on the future of our community. The other great thing about this site is, I know it'll come up elsewhere, but there are 9 apartments set aside for individuals who are experiencing homelessness. And since the pandemic, numbers dropped when shelters were really open. and when there was a lot of subsidy available, but we've started to see homelessness tick back up. Over 11,000 families were documented as having been homeless in New Jersey on the night of the point-in-time count in January. So we're very aware that there has been an uptick, and we want to make sure that we provide resources and long-term housing opportunities for every individual and every family in our state. That is something that, when the market is on its way up, we see poor families being the last to recover, and when the market is on its way down, we see them being the first to struggle. So providing a resource and an opportunity to help connect them with services, get them back on their feet, that's tremendous. And I thank everyone who's been a part of making that possible today.
Thank you, Melanie. Just a couple other folks I'd like to acknowledge. Michael Staten from CPC Mortgage Company. I believe I see Andrea and Amy from Santander Bank behind us. Thank you for coming. Of course, our project contractor, Pike Construction, Jeff and Roging. They will be the ones here that are making sure that next spring we're having a ribbon cutting, so no pressure. And of course, our architect who couldn't make it today, Inglaze Architecture and Engineering. We can now all move our way towards this great pile of dirt and take a wonderful photo. So I'd like to ask our elected officials and our funders to head towards the ceremonial photo spot. We'll grab a helmet and a shovel, and then we'll pile in. Thank you, everyone.